Hello to everyone. Well, I'm pretty much sheltering in place because my son has asked me please to stay inside so that I don't get the coronavirus, and so it'd just be so inconvenient. So I bought rice at Dollar Tree, and then I baked myself some barbecue chicken. I think this barbecue chicken is one of the first. I'm going to put this in my pan over here just to keep it warm while I'm making the rest of the stuff. So what I'm doing, I'm pretty much able to get all my the stuff I need pretty much because I'm basically shopping around in the morning, early and late at night, so as to avoid contamination via people. Okay, the first thing I made. Okay, so I went to Vaughn's. I thought, well, maybe they have some toilet paper. Maybe these better stores have toilet paper. No, they didn't have any toilet paper, but I got a nice chicken. It was a $10.79 chicken. It was the last chicken left, marked down to $4.17, and I saved $6.62. It's strange, but anyway, so I got myself a chicken. So in that bag is the breast and the legs, and then I barbecued the wings. See, there's two wings and the back. That's gonna be a nice little meal. Okay, so what I did is I put my chicken that I was gonna cook in a pan with some salt water, and I rubbed it around, and believe me, you don't want to eat what comes off of that. I'd be more worried about eating the debris that comes off the chicken than getting germs in my sink, because I can wash them. And then I took the giblets out. I will show you. Look, you guys. There's the tasty little heart. And here is the liver and the neck and the gizzard. Okay, now this came from my dad. Okay, when it was time to eat the turkey, this is before we were like in a coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, event. My dad would do this with the turkey because, everybody was like in a hurry to eat the turkey. And so I want to be cheap and make myself a little pan of food. And at one point, I bought these for $0.25. So this will be perfect. I'll just put a little handful. I always thought these were kind of useless. I might consider getting a little bit more of these. I don't want too many, just a little bit. And those will cook in a minute. All right, I want to mention something to you guys, and it's this. Mrs. Cindy MP, judgment's falling. Are you ready? Okay, try to take a look at it with an open mind. Right now, I'd say, we can afford to be open-minded if we know it's good for us. Okay, so take a look at that. But the thing that really was kind of creepy is in this prophecy, it said that people would be so hungry they would eat food that was known to be rotten or poisonous, and they would literally die. So consider shopping morning and night, early in the morning. Okay, so I went looking for toilet paper and I didn't find any. And don't be selfish with everything. You never know. It's like the mouse and the lion. And I was able to get 2 of these heavy whipping creams. And so I made myself a little batch of homemade butter because you're going to need some good fat. And I also saved my chicken fat. I will freeze it. And so what I want to make myself is a little batch of cheese soup, which involved getting in my refrigerator. So I'm going to make a little batch of cheese soup. Okay, so I'll start out with a little of this. You know, just make your own homemade butter. It's so much better for you, and it's going to protect you. I remember when we had the gas shortages, and since then, you know, we've all been driving. You know, everybody's been fine. So, okay, so I'm going to make some cheese soup because I got a lot of cheese at the Senior Citizen Food Bank. There are advantages to being old. If you guys need food, you're going to have to find the food pantries and banks. Probably the sooner, the better. You know, to make sure nothing happens and you're left without enough food. Like what could happen is, what if everybody starts running low and, you know, you can't get any food, you know? I don't know if that'll happen out here. I hope not, but you never know. So one of the things I had in my stockpile was this chicken broth. So I need equal amounts, you know, if you're going to make it from scratch, I need equal amounts of chicken broth and milk. And in my and if you get lumps, just stir the lumps out. And for canned chicken broth, I just want a little batch. For canned chicken broth, you don't need to add salt because, you know, it could be a little bit salty. So you're going to find homemade stuff. I'm stirring my giblets. You're going to think back on all the cheap things your family ever did in its whole life. You're going to do it. I wouldn't say my family was particularly cheap. Cheap is a whole different. Cheap is more like I am. I would say they weren't prone to being, you know, really foolish. In any, my dad's side was not. So I put a little dry onion. You could use fresh. If you have bouillon cubes, I'm sure that'd be good too. And so what's so good about this is I have my leftover powdered milk in the depths of my refrigerator. So the thing of, oh, don't tell me, please don't tell me I burned my bagels. Shoot. Well, they're not as bad as yesterday. This multitasking is not easy. Anyway, I got a lot of nice bagels at the food pantry, so I thought I want to use them. You know, they'll taste good with my cheese soup. So, you know, I think other places of the world, they make soup. You know, here in America, we buy the soup. There's not necessary. It's cheaper to make it. I hope everyone is doing okay. Try the homemade butter. You know, that would be very tasty on these bagels, but that's not where we're going with the bagels today. We're going in the soup with the bagels. Or homemade bread would be really good. So what I'm doing is I'm moving into the direction of some cheese soup. You can also grind yesterday I did pea soup. The thing about soup is you can make a nice big batch of soup and, you know. I still have a little pea soup that I made yesterday in the refrigerator. Not very much. I have a little bit. And it's good if you need a little bite to eat. Oh, no. Okay, so I need a little cheese. Before this food hoarding incident, I had stockpiled a lot of Velveeta cheese from Aldi's. It was the cheapest. I would expect this to last maybe 2 weeks. It's possible it might last longer. You know, those people, you know, it's not in the media, but it's not good what's happening over there in Wuhan. Like, you know, not being able to go to work and not being able to pay your bills. You know, I don't know what's actually happening. Over here, I think you'd be pretty much ending up in some kind of FEMA camp. So you want to say, okay, I want to be as cheap as I can. The main thing I want to do is keep a roof over my head. Okay, so I made like a thin gravy. Now I'm going to add cheese and I'm going to add milk to make a tasty little batch of. If you have margarine, that's fine too. One of the things I had to get was dish soap. You know, someone who cooks as much as I do, no dish soap. That'd be real bad, you guys. That's my powdered milk. Evaporated milk would be very tasty too. And you don't want to be wasting your cheese. That's not a good idea. So I have two kinds of soup. I have my cheese soup, and I have my my chicken soup. So now let's see here. I've been eating the heart since I was. It seems so bloodthirsty, but at least it's not still beating like in some of the Asian cultures. Be cheap and don't waste your food. You could save your giblets in the freezer. You don't have to make them. What I do, see how my cheese soup is coming along nicely? What I do is I eat the soup in the middle of the night, basically. Or else I eat bowls of cereal in the middle of the night. Like breakfast in the middle of the night. Just a note about the barbecue sauce. I bought it 50% off. Remember when I was doing that, you guys? And I was able to get the 2-pound bags of rice for $1. And then I have these vitamin C drops. And I mean, if I even start like one little cough, oh no, I run and I get my vitamin C drops. Okay, my soup, look at my soup. Okay, so I think it's good. Everything doesn't have to be a big deal. This is a nice little batch of cheese soup. You can make it thinner, you can make it thicker to your taste. I'm gonna leave my my chicken soup in the pan, and let me move my butter over here. So when I made my butter, I blended it into the blender until it was solid, and then I saved the liquid, the buttermilk. I bought, see there's some liquid in there. That'll make some good biscuits or something. And also in my refrigerator, I happen to have some cooked fruit that I made yesterday. I messed up the recipe. Cover your fruit. This was pears. Drain it if you're using canned. Just barely cover it with water. Cook it. Add sugar to taste. I added cinnamon and nutmeg, and I chopped it with a knife. And then I mash it with a fork. And so what could happen and should happen if you have this stuff is this is a good bagel. I got these at the food pantry. Don't say I can't. Don't say I won't. Just say, okay, I might need food. I'm going to get some. Four cups of tea. This could be any kind of cheese, I'm sure. That is good and it's very easy to make. Okay, no. I bought this yesterday. 2 big ones for $1. And then I bought 2 road-tail tomatoes. If I have lettuce, I can make a good salad. Lettuce, grind your road-tail tomatoes, and I look for the longest expiration date now. Grind your road-tail tomatoes and then put a little cheese on top. I have a couple of these. I hope I never have to eat them. This is dehydrated soy. You would get dehydrated soy, nuts, and raisins, and brown rice in case the meat supply dries up. You never know. And try to stockpile some honey. I wouldn't be surprised if we start running out of flour. All right, let me give you the creamy cheddar cheese soup recipe. Just tailor it to whatever you have, on hand. Okay, so it's my opinion, prepare for the worst, but don't spend every last dime because you might have the chance to evacuate if things get really bad, but if you don't have any gas, it's going to be hard to evacuate, especially if you don't have any credit. Okay, what they could do is they could refuse to take cash. That's happened to me before at Walmart. Or they could refuse to take cards. So just be in the back of your mind thinking every single possible thing that can possibly go. Get yourself some cheap food. If you have any cheap food ideas, please leave it under comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and if you have good channels, let us know so we can subscribe because my followers will. I see them all over the place. Okay, you guys, God bless you all.